Secretary of State for Foreign and Commonwealth Affairs, Tonia Antoniazzi.
Question number 1, Mr. Speaker.
Minister Harriet Baldwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The UK regularly discusses the violence in Cameroon with international partners, including France and the United States. I welcome French support for the recent UK-Austria joint UN Human Rights Council statement about the deteriorating situation in Cameroon.
Antoniazzi.
Southern Cameroon voted to join French Cameroon as federated states equal in status, but this is clearly not what has happened. They are treated as a region made up of second-class citizens. The UK has a duty to the Southern Cameroons to use all available instruments in order to find a solution to the growing crisis, a solution which takes into account the wishes of the people of the Southern Cameroon. Will the Secretary of State meet with me and a delegation of Southern Cameroons to discuss possible solutions?
Well, can I start by congratulating the Honourable Lady for getting this number 1 on the order paper today, because it has been a worsening crisis and the UK has been strongly engaged with our international partners to try and find a way forward. With respect to the territorial integrity of Cameroon, of course the UK recognises the territorial integrity of Cameroon, but we also believe that where there are calls for more autonomy in the southwest and the northwest, that the government of Cameroon needs to engage in an inclusive political dialogue, because currently the violence from both sides is leading to really serious situations for civilians on the ground.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In her discussions with US counterparts about the worrying situation in Cameroon, has the Minister been able to ask them about suggestions that have been made, that resources that they've given to help the Cameroonian government in the fight against terror, Boko Haram, may be being diverted and misused and used in attacks on some of the communities in Cameroon?
Mr. Speaker, as I often find myself saying in these questions, I'm happy to be accountable in terms of what the UK government has been doing. I can confirm that the UK government has extensive discussions, not only with the government of Cameroon, who, as my right honourable friend will know, are a partner with the international community in terms of the fight against Boko Haram and the Islamic State of West Africa in the north of the country. But also, of course, we have discussions with international partners about a way forward in terms of the views expressed with increasing violence by those of a separatist tendency in the southwest and northwest provinces.
Alison Thewlis.
Much, Mr. Speaker. One of my constituents is a member of the South Cameroonian diaspora and is deeply concerned with what's going on. A recent Amnesty report noted the presence of arbitrary arrest, torture in detention and the existence of secret and illegal detention facilities in Cameroon. Does the Secretary of State agree with me that such activities are a stark violation of the Commonwealth Charter? And if so, what efforts has she made as a Minister to engage with Cameroon through the Commonwealth?
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
Well, the Honourable Lady is absolutely right to raise the range of different human rights violations and abuses that were noted in the statement that we were very pleased that 39 countries signed up to at the most recent UN Human Rights Council. Specifically with regard to the Commonwealth, I can tell the House that Lord Ahmed, the Minister for the Commonwealth, wrote to the Commonwealth Secretary-General recently to share UK concerns about Cameroon and press for further Commonwealth engagement on the matter.
Mr. Philip Hollowbone.
The UK's aim is to be the largest G7 investor in Africa by 2022. Will any of this investment be going to Cameroon?
Minister.
Indeed, my honourable friend states the UK's policy in terms of aiming to be an ambitious investor in terms of inward investment into African economies. And I can confirm that there are UK companies that invest in Cameroon, and certainly that is absolutely something that businesses are free to choose to do. I think in terms of the political track, though, that we are trying to engage with the government of Cameroon. I spoke to the Prime Minister there recently to encourage them to find a way forward in terms of political and inclusive dialogue that can address some of the concerns that are being raised.
Michael.
Speaker, I spent time in Cameroon in 2013 as a political volunteer with VSO, and it breaks my heart to see what is happening to that beautiful country today. It seems to me we have a very potent mix of contemporary challenges and the long tail of our own and indeed French colonial history here. Can we have a two-pronged approach to this? Can we first of all have our colleagues in DFID tackling the urgent crises that there are with displaced peoples in conflict, and then from her own office a proper effort to get a diplomatic solution here?
Well, the Right Honourable Gentleman is absolutely right that there is an ongoing humanitarian crisis, and earlier this year I did authorise that we would work through UNICEF to provide the immediate assistance in terms of humanitarian needs. Over 400,000 people have been displaced in this crisis, over 30,000 have fled into Nigeria, and I can say that DFID is working in terms of programming, and we're also urging the government to allow access for humanitarian actors into all parts of Cameroon.
Liz McInnes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Human Rights Watch said last week, and I quote, "Government forces in Cameroon's Anglophone regions have killed scores of civilians and torched hundreds of homes over the past 6 months. So can I ask the Minister of State, how many more innocent civilians need to be slaughtered for Cameroon to be suspended by the Commonwealth?"